Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tase bhagavato arahato Samha Sambuddhassa Kahine Vacha Chittine Pamadhine Maya Katang Acchayam Kamami Bhanti Bhuri Panye Tathagate Kahine Vacha Chittine Pamadhine Maya Katang Acchayam Kamami Dhamme Sandittika Akalika Kahine Vacha Chittine Pamadine Maya Katang Acchayam Kamami Sangha Supatipanne Anuttere. Let us sit down for our practice, settling into the moment, taking a deep breath in, coming into the present, being comfortably seated, your back supported, chest open as the shoulders relax. Chest wide as the arms gently rest on your lap. Guiding your attention to all the sounds around you. Gently observing all the different sound near and far. Moment to moment. Gently allowing the mind to come to the present. And being with the present experience of sound. Not looking forward for a sound, but just being. And when a sound arises, observe. As you gently guide your attention from the present moment, We learn to let go of anything that might be keeping you attached to the past or the future in any way. Observe, observe, observe. Gently guiding your attention from sounds to the body, and observe the way the body is right here, right now. Observe, observe. Observing the sensation across the body. Starting with the posture of the body, the way the body is presently. Observe, and as you observe the way the body is seated, where your hands are resting, the way the shoulder is relaxed, the muscles all across the body at a state of subtle tightness but at ease. Through which seeing the body now, through the mind adverting to the whole body, and this body experiences only one thing: sensations, anything tactile. This body is only sensitive to anything that can be touched or felt. Keeping this in mind, let us advert with awareness, sati, towards the whole body and whatever sensations that arise, the most subtle sensation to the most gross and palpable sensations. All across the body, all across the body. Observe observe every moment has a Vedana. Whether the feeling is mental or physical, it is simply feeling. Vedana Chetasika. All these Vedana arising and ceasing moment to moment, one particular Vedana at a time. Let us not be drawn into the story of why it arose or how it arose. Simply maintain the mind in being aware and without clinging towards a sensation to create a story of the sensation again. Just being at the moment of contact, and at that moment of contact, knowing pleasant as pleasant, unpleasant as unpleasant Vedana. And at moments where there is neither pleasant nor unpleasant, a blandness, that is upekkha. Observe all across. Observing through the body, every Vedana Sankhara arising, ceasing, constant nature of change. The Vedana rises and ceases in a usual frequency of time. Observing moment to moment, putting away the view of the sammuti body and attuning one's mind to the body of sensation felt through the kaya dwara, the body door. Advert your entire attention, your entire mind to this kaya dwara, to the body, body of sensation, and observe every moment the rising and ceasing of sensation. Allow the concept of arms and legs to cease. This is the body of Vedana, only Vedana. Sukha, dukkha, adukkama sukha. the pleasant sensations, the unpleasant sensations, and the sensations that are neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Sensations can be mental and physical. Let us now try to see both mind and body, moment to moment, the sati itself as a Vedana. Somanasa Sukha, Domanasa Dukkha, Upekha. Simply knowing the sensation as it is. Somanasa Sukha, Domanasa Dukkha, Upekha. Releasing the tension across the body, observing the changing of Vedana. Somanasa Sukha, Domanasa Dukkha, Upekha. Mental pleasure, mental displeasure, physical pleasure, physical displeasure, and equanimity. Be in the present, be in the present, gently, moment to moment, observing the impermanence of the Vedana and the whole body. whole body of Vedanas arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. Observe how this feeling is not the entirety, but only one singular component of experience, amplified through avidya and tanha to create elaborate lives, complexities, anto jata bahijata, jataya jahitat pada, angle, angle, intertwangle. Let us embrace a state of mind that is free, free of complexity, free of the hindrances, free of all the toxicity, brought about by greed, hatred, delusion. Let us embrace the peace of the moment, pulling away from the defilements every moment. Every moment actively re-engaging the sati into the present object, whichever Vedana gross or subtle, without judgment, a pure raw awareness. Discern, discern, moment, moment. Gently, gently. As you stay with the Vedana, all the sensation of the mind and the body, the gross out of the two, the body, and everything experienced at this body, felt, is also the Patavi Dhatu, the earth element, the earth element, guiding our attention through the sensation to advert to the element, moment to moment, the air element, become apparent, just so the other element. And let us guide our attention to observe the earth element across the body, hardness, roughness, heaviness. Observe smoothness, softness, lightness. Observe moment to moment, all the pleasure and displeasure that arises out of materiality. Is the samadhi, deep within this samadhi is the reality of the Paramattha. and observing the elements. Let us practice this knowledge through knowing what is the Sammati, what is the Paramatta, going deeper through the gross manifestations of the elements, numbness, tightness, to adhere to the present moment experience entirely, to connect with earth, all across the body, earth, 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 earth. Observe, 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 taking every moment as anew, letting go of thoughts would be the letting go of view. Let us be completely unbiased and be within the present without judgment, without conclusions, without idea, and just with the earth element in what is experienced right at this moment. Moment to moment, observing as you gently shift through the earth element. Let us now advert to temperature, tejo dhatu, the pressure point, tightness, soreness, roughness. Through all of these points, you will see temperature. Cold, warm, not pleasant, unpleasant. Cold, warm, only temperature. see this temperature, Tejo Dhatu, all across the body, arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing, arising, ceasing. Gently, gently, earth, fire, going into each and every moment with effort, with genuine awareness, enforced by the right Chetana to be within this moment. Through the Tejo, experience how this temperature exists extensively, just like Patavi, earth. The Tejo is in motion, changes, fluctuations, highs, lows, warmer, colder. Through the Tejo, it is easy to see the Vayu, the breath, and with the breath, the motion all across the chest, abdomen, motion all throughout this body, moment to moment. Observe these motions. Vayu Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu. Gently, gently observe, observe, observe. as you let go of grosser phenomenon, past, future, and come entirely to embrace the present, the experience, the insight will continue to grow. With a mind attuned to the four elements, let us now observe cohesion all throughout the body, moment to moment, observing, observing how all the elements in the various groups of kalapa are held together, just like this body, with all the nerves, the sinews, the blood, the muscles, the 32 parts in all, kept together, cohesion, adhering to a certain physical nature, and keeping all the Dhammas together, cohesion. Observe the cohesive element all throughout the body. All throughout the body. Observe, observe, observe. Gently, putting aside the convention, the conventional body, and let us engage this experience of materiality just through the element. Every moment, every tightness, roughness, smoothness, the motion, the cohesive nature, the four elements working together, through cause and condition, arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. Observe the whole body of elements, different groups of elements all throughout the body. All throughout the body. Gently, gently, observe all the elements, moment to moment, moment to moment, gently, swiftly, all the elements, all the elements, moment to moment, changing, shifting, arising, ceasing, this nature of impermanence, this nature of impermanence. Impermanent, suffering, non-self, anicca, dukkha, anatta, anicca, dukkha, anatta, Gently, gently, gently. Guiding your attention to the body sitting here. Sensation, the sound around you. Gently, when you are ready, opening your eyes and awakening. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, everyone. Now, how was our experience today? What were your experiences?
Bhante,
Sujata, yes?
can I open, please, Bhante?
Yes, Sujata.
It's quite an experience for me, I must tell you that, because my time is early morning. Today, that 1 hour passed, I know in between I fell asleep, but I could hear your voice. And it was a good, very fine meditation, I must say, Bhante. I really concentrated. I'm so happy today. I had a heavy day in the morning. I was very, very busy. My body was aching. And whole body was sort of feeling benumbed, sort of. But still, I continued for that 1 hour. I think it's almost 1 hour. And experience I had never had before, I think, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. It's lovely.
Okay, Sujata, ma'am. All right. Anyone else who would like to? Anuma, would you like to?
Thank you, Bhante. It was a very good experience, I must say, from the start to the end. And I was able to settle very quickly, as usual. And I was concentrating and I felt the breath, but it was very, very, very subtle. And when we came to the last end, towards the end, when we came to the what do you call this, Dhatu Manskara meditation there, the element meditation, I felt the sensations, all 12, and then I was able to balance all 12. And when it came to the 32 parts body, I was able to kind of, when you said the conventional body, it's a conventional body, yeah. I realized that it was like the structure of the body, like when you say that box of matches, it's the box, but the matches, the sticks are inside. So the cohesion, all the 32 parts are like when you make cement mixture, I felt like that. And if one parts, if you miss out one part, the rest can't function. So I got that realization, and I was able to see through how each part was, like blood, water, the flesh, how they're all combined together. And it was kind of a lump for me. I saw it as a lump, Bhante. And I think that was the experience I had, Bhante. Thank you.
It is always, Tejo heavy experiences always feels like a lump, isn't it?
Yes, Bhante.
Like a
Yes.
bag, like a lump. But
Mhm.
ඊට කලින් අපි කරපු when the meditation that we did prior to that, which was the Vedananupassana.
Yeah.
එතන in the Vedananupassana, today I think you did a practice which was also unique. How we went from that Sukha Dukkha Upekha
Mhm.
to Somanassa Sukha Domanassa Dukkha Upekha. So we would learn these the 3 sensations and the 5 sensations. We usually learn it separately, isn't it? Sutra,
Yeah. Abhidhamma also we learned. Yeah.
දෙක තමයි. In the sutra,
Kaya and manasika. Yeah. Manasa. Yeah.
in the sutras, we have those 3 sensations, Sukha, Dukkha, Upekha.
Yeah.
And in the Abhidhamma, we have Somanassa, Sukha, Domanassa.
Manasa.
And then Sukha, Dukkha, Upekha, we saw how the grosser out of the 2, right, is the Kaya Vedana, or the sensations that are rooted in the body. Body
Yeah.
do, right? Body do. Rooted in the body means rooted at the body door. What is the body door? All the datum that comes through the Kaya Dwara or the Kaya Pasada.
Yeah.
Right? The base of contact where sensitive potabba, touch, tactile sense can be felt. That is the grossest out of the mind and the body. Right? So when
Yes.
the body we are referring, so Anoma, what you experienced with the Vedana Dhatu Mansikara in shape of the body, the shape of the body is only construct. And when we let it go into the Vedanas, you realize the hands and the body, these all prajnapti, all concepts. The hand, body, the hand is aching, the back is aching. When you put the mind to seed into pure Vedana, which is the moment where Vedana, usually what we see as Vedana is actually not just a simple Vedana, but more, we get the thought expression of Vedana.
Yes.
Thought expression is tanha or avidya, ignorance or craving, propelling or වැඩි කරවනවා. Bloats it
Yes, Bhante.
through
Yeah.
the meditation, isn't it? Through the meditation, when we go from the story, we realize the story is a concept, a prajnapti. Go beyond the story and we come to the raw Vedana. The raw Vedana does not have a body construct.
Yeah.
Right? The raw Vedana does not have a body construct. Before the raw Vedana comes, you will see Vedana as my hand is hurting, my hand is numb. So we allow, how do we come into that place? We embrace the Vedana, the present Vedana.
Yeah.
How do we embrace the present Vedana? Get rid of the ditti. How do you get rid of the ditti? What is the ditti there? The ditti is the hand, the leg, right? All of those words, we let go of that. During that moment in your meditation, to expose the raw nature to ourselves. What is between you and that raw nature are your dittis, views, the way that we assume it might be. But the Paramatta cannot be seen through ditti. The Paramatta can only be seen through the Kusala mind, the Kusala Vipassana mind. The discerning, what is the difference between a Kusala mind and a Vipassana mind? The Vipassana mind always has prajna in it, which gives you the edge of being able to discern Dhamma, break apart Dhamma. So letting go of the grosser sankharas connected to connected to the sammuti and then going into the paramattha, always allow that journey to unfold. Now, even with the breath, we will experience the same. It is really coming away from the past and the future and coming into the present. This is really about coming into the present. Identifying what are the factors that are keeping me out of the present indirectly, passively, right? Sometimes it might be, let us say, the concern over the meditation. Now we are concerned about whether we are doing the right thing, right? So this concerning nature that you might have will keep you in the future. Or depending on the way that you look at it, it will also keep you in the past. It could. So past or the future.
Or future, let it be present.
Past or the future. The concern may be like this will go into the past. Why was it like that? It goes into the future. Balanna. So I think in these discussions that we have and these depths that we go through, we also do come to realize the depth and the precision of the Abhidhamma and how that precision helps us so deeply in our practice. Realizing, or through knowledge, of course, we know. However, through the practice, it becomes so much more easier when you know the nature of the reality. So you know what is the right place to look.
Yes.
What is the right place to look? When you're in that absolute moment of the present, when you are in that moment of the present, where the mind is radiant with prajna, where the object of meditation is calm and pure, right? Calm and pure. In those kinds of occasions, that peace that exists can very easily become just like, for example, a sensual pleasure becomes something which is attractive. මේක තමයි භාවනාමය සපය සහ භාවනාමය සුඛය. එතකොට ඒ සුඛේ ජීවත් වෙන්නට නිකම් මිනිස්සෙක්, if we uproot a person from where that person is and just plant him there, we know that that person might find it very difficult, like being in isolation. But the only way that we can tap into this is through the Eightfold Noble Path. Through the suffering, through the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Noble Path. That is the way that we see this. Right? But there is a whole up on to Sotapanna Margapala, there's a lot of seeing, discernment. We know Samma Ditti plays a predominant role in the Sotapanna Marga and the Pala. This way of seeing and adverting, we find, helps us to navigate the mind into those deep vipassana experience. For example, understanding where an object is tied with tanha and where the object is not tied with tanha. Right? Now remember, not tied with tanha could also be upekha. You get what I mean?
Yes, Bhante, yeah.
It might appear as if it is upekha.
Yes.
As if it is upekha. Or the upekha might be believed to be the lack of tanha. Eka hinda tamai buduhamduro, the Buddha. So, in such an amazing fashion, he has given us the teachings in such a systematic form. So, and you see that with the 3 sensations and the 5 sensations. The 3 sensations refer to those earlier stages where the sensations, the grosser sensations are seen, which is the bodily pleasure, bodily pain, and neither pain nor pleasure. Right? Neither pain nor pleasure. And then after seeing that reality, you realize when the mind becomes subtler and subtler, the mind comes to realize that there is not only but between the bodily pain and pleasure, right? there is also mind,
Mhm.
things that I feel. So bodily pleasure is experience, and with this bodily pleasure experience, the mind likes that experience. So එතනත් වේදනාවක් තියෙනවා. The mind that is now observant of that Vedana likes that. එතනත් වේදනාවක් තියෙනවා. When there is a pleasure, the mind feels a bit stiff. That stiffness is also Vedana there. That is the dosa mula.
Mhm.
Right. The Vedana there. Dosa, friction arising towards the pain. Why is his pain here? Why is his pain? Why has his pain come so much? Why is it so strong? Why is it so powerful? ඔක්කොම යන්නේ දෘෂ්ටි වලට. මොකද what you tell yourself in thought is what you actually think. And whilst in the pathway to anatma, reinstigating, let us say reinstigating the idea of sammuti again and again and again. පරමාර්ථයට යනකොට ආපෝ සම්මුති දාන. කොහොමද සම්මුති? When the pain, the way that you manage or the way that you persevere in your attention towards the present moment, where that pain is not, it is seen as a Vedana, but not allowing the pain to be any more than the raw pain it is. To the raw pain it is. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Up until you come into a frame of mind where you accept the raw Vedana, not the bumped up, the tanha-based, the avidya-based Vedana that we confine ourselves to because of that story we create. The story that we create.
Bhante, can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Bhante, as Sujata mentioned, now when we are meditating, we don't feel any pain, like bodily pain. Right? But once you come out from that session, after meditation, not immediately, but then you get all this body aches, pains, everything.
Yeah.
But when you're meditating, you don't get Bhante. So how can you explain that, Bhante?
So when the body in the sati chitta, right? When it is a trihetuka kusala sati chitta, the chitta's power is said to maintain the body whilst that chitta is present. We know that the jhana chitta does the exact thing when you're in jhana, right? So whilst that kusala mind is present, eka kusala site gatiya anoma.
Okay.
ඒක කුසල සිතේ ගතිය. ඒ කියන්නේ සතියෙන් when you are with sati engaging with the object now with ekagrata, the kusala chitta is not the same kusala chitta that you experience, let us say, doing a pinkama, for example.
Yeah.
Not.
Mm.
It's not. When the dhammas are balanced in a state of samadhi or deep vipassana, that mind is far unique, although the name that we give and the Chaitasika Dhammas that we may quote might be the same. So, Somanasa, no, Upeka Sagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika, we do the Pinkama.
Yeah.
Upeka Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika Chitta, we meditate. But the power of both of these two chittas is very different. Right? Very, very different. The effect of the kusala mind engage with one through ekagrata, engage with one object. All of those, because the mind is the forerunner. When the mind is engaged with one object, it can leave out all the rest that arise. ඔතට ඇඟක් නැහැ කියන එක නෙමේ ඇඟ එක අරුමුණක් උඩ යොමු කරන ඒකාග්‍රතාව. Ekagrata. And in that we come to realize vidarshanave, me anger වෙන්නේ මනස තියෙනට විතරයි. මේ ඇඟ වෙන්නේ මනස තියෙනට විතරයි. මනස නැති වෙලාවේ රූපස්කන්ධය කෙරෙහි ලෝභයක් නැහැ.
Yes.
When the mind is not there, there is no rupa upadanaskandha, panchupadanaskandha in the 5 aggregates of clinging. The first part, rupakandha.
Yeah.
Rupakandhe, panchupadanaskandha වෙන්නේ because of the tanha.
Because of the attachment.
Taking that rupa, taking this experience. If there's a tightness, I'm sitting on a chair, there is also backrest. This whole multi-sensorial experience that I'm having at this moment, I am having it because of the upadana that is craving, that is taking this experience as me, myself, and I.
Also ditti, no Bhante?
Also fueled by ditti.
Fueled by ditti.
But it can be fueled by ditti, it can also be fueled by conceit. Right? My body. Now, when you say
Mana.
fueled by conceit, mana, right? That is a bit more derailed, Anoma.
Yeah.
Right? When you say mana, that is a bit derailed. When you say ditti, right, this is a view. But the thing is, when a ditti goes when it gets fixated, that also becomes a grave danger. But in the spectrum of the levels of consciousness at this moment, man is far weaker.
Weaker?
Far weaker. Far weaker means far worse.
Yeah, on the other way. Yeah.
Right? Far weaker means far worse. Right? In that moment, mana, because there is no depth to that mana. Only just the belief over the idea that this is what is right, or this is what I want, or whatever it is. Right? So ditti, views, or mana, both of that we peel off in our meditation. And just allow ourselves to be, to embrace that moment experienced, come to realize that every moment there is only one Dhamma that actually arises. But the only reason we are experiencing this one Dhamma is because the senses are slowly narrowed down to one object.
Right. Yeah.
When we open that curtain again, my God. Right? Because see, the eyesight starts pouring in, the sounds, the smells, all of these things, they are shut off and narrowed down into one object. So that is really the difference between meditation and normal life. The floodgates are open in one and the floodgates are closed in another. So this experience is all because of the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. And the mind. Right. And the mind. So we start with the growth and go into the subtle areas. Any more questions?
Thank you, Bhante.
Another thing, your instructions while meditating. So naturally, the concentration is directed to that, and you're able to, concentrate really well and meditate. Even I sit in one position until the end. I don't move. Because that is because, like you said, the concentration goes to you.
Yeah.
You're guiding us, the meditation part.
Yeah.
So I must say that it's a wonderful experience. And I'm getting better at it now that I've started meditating again. I do that every morning, Bhante, for 1 hour.
And you do the Buddhanusati as well through the day?
I should start doing it.
Oh.
I just concentrate on my breathing and,
Okay.
so that's what I do. To be able to concentrate more and be in that position. So I will start doing Buddhanusati.
Harry. Kaushali. Kaushali. Did you have a question, Kaushali? Okay. So we can't hear you, Kaushali. So, Hemamali, how is your meditation doing today?
Bhante, I think I concentrated what you said, and a little bit of different experiences. I felt when you say earth, I felt heaviness, and within that, there's a bundle of sensations, like small things. I realized one.
Okay. Okay.
That's a little bit of different feel.
Keep going. Keep. In those, again, no surprises, just being, you continue. When it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, you let it, right? And let it unfold in front of you. And what you're seeing and experiencing is the effect of what or how strong your concentration is. So continue like that, hey Male. Anyways, you do your Anapanasati and Dhatu Manasikara, vidiyata. Ara Kaya Prasade, the teachings that we know about the Kaya Prasada are quite important, everyone. Because the Kaya Prasada with Anapanasati Bhavana, with Anapanasati Dhatu Manasikara, these prominent meditations leading up to the Satipatthana, these meditations start upon the Kaya Prasada for a reason. Because out of the 6 sense doors, the Kaya Prasada is the most gross out of all of them. Because in contact is quite easy because it is so heavy on the consciousness. Contact is a great way to understand the first arm of the Pasada Rupas. Out of the Pasada Rupas, Kaya Pasada is the strongest. Kaya Pasada is the strongest, right? Through this Kaya Pasada, through seeing the body, sensations, anything that is tactile, through the Kaya Pasada, we develop through Anapanasati Bhavana, Dhatu Manasikara Bhavana, Dvatinsakara Bhavana, all of these meditations based off the body, the Kaya Anupassanas, all of that we develop on the grounds of Kaya Pasad or Kaya Vinyane Uda Samadhi Vardhane Karani. When that is done, then from that moment or that position or that practice, we can find ourselves from the Kaya Pasada to the Chakku Pasada, Gana Pasada, Jivha Pasada, Kaya Pasada, Mano, ekane Hrada Vastu. Hrada Vastuwata yanna, it is difficult to find yourself to the heart base without having allowed yourself to develop the samadhi through the 5 sense doors first. 5 sense doors first. Starting with body, so Anapanasati, where we observe the breath hitting against the nostrils, or the abdomen rise and fall, right? Dhatu Manasikara, we observe the whole body. Through these meditations, we cultivate that Kanika Samadhi, right? Through that Kanika Samadhi. So allow yourself. So in these practices, Anapanasati, Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, these practices focusing on the physical body, allow these practices to become immersive in its experience. And it will only become immersive when we let go of the ditthis. We let go of the ditthis. It is a good way to think about it is when we first started practicing Anapanasati, we assume the Anapana, the breath to be this way and that way, this way and that way. And then when we finally come to learn how to observe the breath without any issues, we realize how different the perception, how lighter, how less complex, how so simple it was. But why it didn't seem or appear so simple in the practice before was because we didn't understand. The only way we understand is by practicing. Is by practicing. It is like using a very sharp knife, isn't it? You have to start somewhere. You have to start someday.
Thank you, Ante. Yes.
Yes, do you have something to
Yeah.
But
Oh, oh. අපි
වන්තේ චුට්ටක් මං පොඩි දෙයක් කියන්නද වන්තේ?
කියන්න පොඩි දෙයක්.
After you finish also the meditation, that same little things I felt, Vante, even so it doesn't matter now. It's okay.
No, that is the intensity of it. Hemala. So after the meditation, then කලාප භාවනාවක් ඔය කරලා ඇසරියත් මේ එළිය පේනවා. right? ඉතින් පොඩි වෙලාවක් යනකම් මේ mentality එකේම අපි ඒ විදිහටම මනස ඔසවනකම් ඒකේම පේනවා. That is external, internal, external කියන කතාවනේ ඔය. ඒ කියන්නේ internally බලන්න පුළුවන්, externally තියෙනවා.
Okay.
So don't worry about Hemali, but it is something to be happy about actually. මොකද භාවනාව හොඳට ඒ depth එකට ගියේ හින්දා තමයි මේ ඒක experience කරන්නත් පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ ඒ විදිහට. So Hemali again, now පැය මිනිත්තු 15 පටන් අරගෙනද Hemali, did you start?
Oh, දැන් පටන් ගත්තා සන්නස 1 hour 5 minutes වගේ පටන් ගත්තා. පුළුවන් දැන්.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Kaushali.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vante. Thank you. Sorry.
Vante, yes, I had a good experience with that meditation, or a 4 elements meditation. The depth I went like, I could able to see all the 42 parts of the body and then remove all the concept side, and only thing left was like the qualities and Patavi Apo Tejo Vayu e hatra vitarai. After that, when you say yes, now you have to see Anitya Dukkha Anatma, I was thinking, how can I see? The mind need to be involved. So that was the experience. And then and I want to ask a question. In your book, the page 40, it says, how can I discern the 4 elements of each color, please? Because it described that you have to see and discern the elements of kalapa. In those kalapas, I can see pushing, and then pushing and what else? Pushing and supporting. But other than that, how can I see the other qualities of that kalapa, please?
Kaushali, The pushing, the supporting, those are qualities of the
Yeah.
of the elements.
Yeah.
Hari. Those are qualities.
Mhm.
They are not the kalapas. Hari. But it
Um,
is through the qualities that we come to the stage of a kalapa.
okay.
Hari. It is through the qualities that we come to a stage of a kalapa. Kalapa is a group of physicality, right?
Oh. Mhm.
So it is not yet the kalapa there, Koshare. We need to, in that case, start with the, Kaya Prasada and then work our way through the Chakku, the Sota, the Gana, the Jivha, the Kaya, and the Hadaya to come to the position of the Kalapa.
Um,
කියන්න කෝෂ.
එතකොට මේ එතකොට එතන ප්‍රසාද රූපයෙන් පටන් ගන්නෙ කොහොමද? ප්‍රසාද රූපය කියලා අල්ලන්නේ කොහොමද?
ප්‍රසාද රූපය අල්ලගන්නේ සමාධියෙන්. So through the samadhi, we stay with the, let us say, the body, the Patavi Dhatu, the Tejo, Vayu, Apo. The four elements, we are with the four elements, right? Which means that we are at Kaya Pasada.
Okay.
Right? So then the first piece is Kaya Pasada. Right. The first part is seeing through the hallucination. Right.
Okay.
Just imagine we are seeing a beautiful sun, we are seeing a park, we are seeing all of these things. Right? It's a beautiful day. Now, the first thing is to see through the sammuti, the convention. To see
Yeah.
through the sammuti, you need to focus your mind on a particular one singular point, which becomes the object of the meditation.
Yeah.
Alright. Now you have drifted away from the image of the beautiful day, right? And you are now senses calmed in one moment, away from the past, away from the future, and in the present engaging with, let us say, the elements meditation.
Mhm.
In the elements meditation, now you have drawn your senses away from Chakku, Sota, eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the mind, and you have brought it down just to the body door.
Okay.
Just to the body door. Alright. Now at this body door, now only two things can happen with the body door. If you're there at the body door, genuinely there with the body door, only two things can happen. Alright. Only two things can happen. Raw experience happens and the proliferated thought can happen.
Okay.
Hari, when you are with the body door, entirely, genuinely, authentically in the present, at that moment, only two things can occur. You can experience the raw kaya pasada or the body contact, the feeling, the sensation, the raw sensation without a story, and the and the sensation with a story.
Yes. Okay.
ඒ දෙක අල්ලගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ first we realize a story, let go of the story. Letting go of the story, and when you come into a sense of, when you let go of the story, you'll come into a sense of presence where it is just the raw Vedana. Now you have brought yourself away from the Javana Chittas into the Kaya Pasada movement. Towards the Kaya Pasada movement may not be the Kaya Pasada yet. Right?
Okay.
May not be the Kaya Pasada yet, but far better than with the story.
Yeah.
Hari, far better than with the story. You may be at Kaya Pasada, you might not be at Kaya Pasada yet, but definitely you are closer to Kaya Pasada now. that you have let go of the story.
Yeah.
Now you don't have a specific identification entirely about the sensation, but it's not to say that you don't as well, right? But it is not strong. At this moment, you bring your mind to focus upon the raw moment, the very upada moment of the kaya sensation. This very starting moment, again and again, again and again, starting moment of the sensation. At the starting moment of the sensation, you will catch it before it proliferates. Now you go deep into kaya pasada.
Oh.
Harida.
Yeah.
Right now when you go to the kaya pasada, the body door there, right? Now you have done it once to the most gross door. Then ekama karanna chakku. Komada chakku. How do I do it with the chakku? Kaushali, the question.
Yeah, chakku.
වා මගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න මං උත්තර දෙන්න.
First, first චක්කු ප්‍රසාද වලට යන්න ඕනි.
නෑ,
ඉස්සෙල්ලාම
චක්කු ප්‍රසාදයට යන්නේ කොහමද? Right? You have to first find a chakku object.
okay, yeah.
ඒම යන්න.
Oh.
ඒම ගියේ නැත්නම් if you take the shortcut කෝෂලි යන්නේ කෙලින්ම හෘද වස්තුවට. Do you understand? හෘද වස්තුව කියන්නේ you will imagine. No? If you don't have a
Yes.
object, you imagine. Right? When you imagine, it is mind. Do you understand
Yes.
the difference? Right? If you imagine, now I am telling you, okay, get a chakku object. Then mama as deka wahagatta. ඔතකොට හරියට දැන් object එක ගත්තෙත් නැහැ. ඔතකොට දැන් මනසින් මේක පුම්බලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේනේ.
Yeah.
Right? ඔතකොට මනෝ object වෙලා. හරි? So you have to do this. Take one particular object. This object could be පහනක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, something that does not arouse tanha dittimana. ලාම්පුවක්, a lamp, a candle, some sort of, it can also be a statue, a Buddha statue, something that is impartial, something, it can even be a mug. It really doesn't matter. Something.
Okay.
However, now let us say, your mother gave you this mug and you remember your mother every time you see this mug. Right. You have to take an impartial object. Right? That tanha dittimanayata hata ganna bari. අරමුණක් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒකයට පහන් බුදුහාඳුරන්ගේ පිළිම, ඒ වගේ බුද්ධ රූපයක්, ඒ වගේ දේවල් ගන්නෙ. දැන් ඒක දිහා හොඳට බලාගෙන ඉඳලා you observe this motion of observing this, right?
Okay.
And you take the image well into your mind. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ image එකමයි. This splitting image in your mind. ඒක පස්සේ ඇස් දෙක වහගන්න. Then you close your eyes. You take this image into the mind. Not imagination or hallucination. This image itself is what you take to mind. Do you understand?
Yes.
Through that, now you will have the thoughts of Buddhahandru. If we say it's a Buddha Rupa, the image of a Buddha, it's a nice Buddha statue, it's not so nice, the face is too thin, the face is too fat, all of the whatever thoughts that would arise, get rid of them first. Harini.
Okay.
All of them ditti.
Yeah.
All of them ditti. Right? And in the same way, follow as you followed the Kaya Pasada.
Okay.
Right? But you do that after the Kaya Pasada. After the Kaya Pasada is established, that is how you know you have entry into it. So do it with the Kaya Pasada first, Kaushali, and then you can try with the eye. This is literally within the eye consciousness, thoughts arise, Kaushali, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Within the eye base, thoughts arise.
Yeah.
Harini. Within the eye base, my consciousness can arise in 6 places: the eye base, the nose base, the tongue base, uh, the tongue base. I missed one, I think. The 6
Nose.
sense bases,
Yeah.
the nose, tongue,
Yeah.
sense bases, with the 6 sense bases. In all of those 6 sense bases, we love the mind arises in all of those 6 sense bases. So when we are observing anything to do with the body, which is the most gross of that experience, the mind arises at the base. Me manasa allaganno. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you're observing the eye, the mind must arise in the eye. When you're observing the body, the mind must arise in the body. Now, this is quite a deep topic. If we might say this, right? When you're observing the sensation, when you are the sensation.
Body, can you repeat that once
When you
again?
are observing the sensation and when you are the sensation,
Oh, yes. Yes.
right?
Mm.
අනිත් කට්ටියට තේරුණාද ඒ තැන? It is quite apparent. ගොඩ කට්ටියට. When you are observing a sensation and when you are the sensation. At what stages do you become the sensation? It is when the mind arises at the sense door. So
Okay.
you are what you think. You are what you think. So the mind is entirely what thought is the mind. In the same way, when you are seeing, the consciousness arises, taking the object at the mind. But then that viti can run, that mind process can run at the eye door, and the next process can arise in the mind door, you see. Neither.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That is why we focus this samadhi, we train this samadhi to be in the body door, be in the eye door, the nose door, the tongue door, the 6 sense doors, to explore, to experience the most raw experience, right? It is like, people down south, they are very picky about their curd, right? They're very picky about their curds. They want it made fresh, right? They don't. So now even if it travels an hour by car from where it was made to where it is now, even that time for some, they're not experienced in the pure, So some, they go all the way to the little hut of the person who's making them, right? And eats them then and there. That is the most raw. That is the most pure, the unaffected. We must go there. Nothing that you would do, even if you fly the curd to Colombo in a helicopter, it is still not going to be as fresh and raw as that which you would get from that little hut. It is like that. Catching the mind at the place the mind arises.
Okay.
Ante, can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Can you give an example of how to catch that, please? Because I didn't get that. How to get it so raw at the eye?
Yes. I mean,
If you give me an example, I may be able to understand.
Yes. How to get it so raw in the eye. So, අපේ ප්‍රසිද්ධ අපේ ගාථාවක් තියෙන්නේ ප්‍රසිද්ධ. මොනවද මතකද ගාථාව? About චක්කුංච
Paticca roopecha චක්කුං චක්කු විඥානං තින්නං සංගති පස්සෝ.
අන්න හරි. So, that favorite. Anna, then Chandra unmute kara. I know that Chandra is going to unmute.
She went it එයාට ඒක මතක් වුණා හොඳ වෙලාවට.
මතක් වුණා. ඒක තමයි. then oh, that is the raw moment.
At the instant of touching
The
that with the
instance of touching.
three things.
That is the raw moment at the instance of touching. වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ අපි කොහමද? The challenge comes, how are we going to reach that subtlety of contact?
Correct.
And that is through letting go of the dittis as they arise in the moment, letting go of thought, and engaging with ekagrata only towards that object, that specific object.
දැන් මම ලෝඩ් බුද්ධගේ පින්තූරයක් ස්ටැචුව එකක් ළඟට ගිහිල්ලා if I just focus on that Bhante, then what I get is the raw image.
No, what you get is what you eka thamai hirante. That is not that is your sanya stuck on the kama bhumi sammuti. ඔය කාම භූමියේ සම්මුතියක් ඔය අල්ලගෙන ඉන්නේ. ඒකයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ. Right? So even the image of the Buddha that you're seeing is a sammuti, not a paramatta. That experience of the Buddha, that experience of that image, is all owing to how your faculties have taken that image as object. Your respect towards that will be determined by all the dittis, the samma dittis or the michcha dittis that have been cultivated throughout your life. That is the veil of the sammuti. Beyond that sammuti exists the paramatta.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Beyond that sammuti exists that paramatta. It is in order to understand that for ourselves is why we start with the bhavana sila samadhi prajna. ඒක තේරුම් ගන්නනේ අනාත්මය. ඔය the belief that this sammuti is real is because of the sanya cetasika.
Yes, yeah.
Because it has been taught to us, this is all that we know to be real. So you keep on getting stuck in that. But you also realize when you have samadhi and the position of mind is strong, you hear sounds, but you understand the sound, or rather, you cognize the sound as simply just a sound.
Yes,
So
yeah.
which one is more correct?
බන්තේ මේ මට පොඩි අයිඩියා එකක් ආවා ඒක හරියද කියන්න කරුණා කරලා මේ අර අදිවචන සම්පස්සයයි පටිඝ සම්පස්සයයි කියන්නේ ওই දෙක නේද?
Oh. Yes. Right. ඔතකොට අධිගම පටිඝ සම්පස්සයයි අධිගම සම්පස්සයයි.
අදිවචන සම්පස්සය.
අධිවචන සම්පස්සය.
පටිඝය තමයි පටිඝ සම්පස්සය අර ගැටීම අර අයිඩෝ එක ළඟ වැටෙන එක ඒක අමාරුයි ඇත්තටම මේ කනට නම් ටිකක් හරි ලේසි මම හිතන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ අදිවචන සම්පස්සය ඒක නම් කරනවා මේ මනසෙන් ඒක.
ඒක ලොකු අමාරුවක් නෑ චන්ද්‍රා. ඕක අමාරුවක් වෙන්නේ අර දෘෂ්ටි ටික.
ඒක තමයි.
The dittis of the moment. ඔතකොට how should the yogi adhere to this, right? It is in absolute, if you put it in the English language, simply being with the object with the wisdom working. Right? Being with the object with the wisdom working. Getting rid, or little by little, letting go, identifying and letting go the views that proliferate in the mind. And any sort of proliferation, if it is any sort of what is the word that you say? You say more. No, exaggeration. Any form of exaggeration, you will find the nature by which that Dhamma was exaggerated is going to be tanha, greed, mana, conceit, or views. anything that proliferates the raw experience beyond what it actually is to create a sammuti is tanha ditthi mana. So what you really have to watch out in your meditation is, how do I recognize these, which we call in Pali prapancha. Prapancha.
Prapancha, yeah.
What prapancha in English is the proliferation of mind. The proliferation of mind, which is that exaggeration from what it actually is to something that is exaggerated through the natures of greed, tanha, ditthi, view, and mana, conceit. So taking at the present moment, we have to watch out for those pitfalls of greed arising in the practice.
Okay.
Now, how does then greed arise in the practice? Wishing the meditation to be a certain way than it is. Think about it. Any form of greed, waiting for the meditation to end, right? Hoping that the meditation gets better in time. All of these thoughts, ticka, we come to realize that we are not under them, that they are actually under us. Right? When the mind is alert and in sati, all of these proliferating factors are quenched. Right? Realizing that Dhamma, getting that confidence in practice allows you to be within the present and touch the raw experience without the proliferated mind.
Bhante, so if we take a Lord Buddha's statue, then tanha mana ditti කොහොමද ඒකට එන්නේ? Because තණ්හාවක් නැහැ බුදු statue එකක් ගැන. මාන්නයකුත් නැහැ. Especially with the Lord Buddha's statue, I can't proliferate.
Then Hirante, you are far more developed than I am.
I'm just questioning you to understand the theory of it.
When my cleaner goes near the Buddha statue, my heart is pounding because I don't want him to, damage it in any way. But that is exactly, right? That is exactly the proliferation there. Meaning, you have to see that the Buddha statue or whatever image that you're looking at, away from any form, even the fact that this statue is the Buddha, monode, drushti. That's a view. That is not the Buddha. Right? The man who made that statue has no idea what the Buddha looks like. Right. You get what I mean, Hiranti, there.
Yeah, sort of, I think, but trying to
No.
practice.
Nothing to say sort of, right?
No.
Think about
I
this.
can
Think
see
about
when
this.
you are there, you simply think, this is just a mati rupaya. But it's කොහොමද මම කියන්නේ?
So it is now, Hiranti, now what you said, right? I'm just using these as examples because this is how all of us think, right? Now, okay, it's not a Buddha statue, it's just a mati rupe, right? Then what is mati? Is mati a paramatta?
No. Okay, yeah.
Right? So you see, tanha, ditthi, mana, we don't realize up until we observe and look. Right? Up until we observe and look, opening our mind to that Dhamma, to that reality of observing. Tanha ditthi mana. Kathavak hadanawa nang, if you're making up a story in your mind, right? If you're weaving a story, there is most likely the effect of tanha ditthi mana. Right? Tanha. Now let us say if someone comes to us and says, oh, I found a better, a very special meditation technique. It is far superior and better than your vipassana. I think you have quite literally wasted 30 years of your life. You know, you should speak to my friend. He knows a lot about it, right? So now see, right, as the tanha is one, which would, if the agitation arises there, the tanha towards dittis that we hold. This happens to almost everything in our life. Because why? එතනම ඇත්තක් තියෙනවා. මොනවද එතන තියෙන ඇත්ත? There is a truth in that as well. The fact that this happens, this unpleasantness, right, happens. Let us say, you leave that aside. Someone comes and says something to the mouse that you use for the computer. Oh, I have a better one or something like that, right? Or say something about it and you think that's quite bizarre. But that agitation arises, isn't it? If something is against, that is the weave that we have created, the construct of this concept, this complex construct of tanha ditthi mana, connecting us, weaving us into this life. It is in that realization, you see, right? It is in that realization that it is not in saying that this exists and this doesn't exist, but the world that we experience and live in, and the world that actually, and the world that actually is there is two very completely different experiences. Because the world that we live in is a creation, a complex network of paramatthas, all clung together, stuck together, because of what? These ties, these knots made by tanha dittiman. Tanha dittiman. And that you will see in the practice. Oh, hey, Mali.
සර්නස් වංගාස හිරන්තිට කියන්න දැන් බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කෙනෙක් දැක්කම සර්නස් බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝගේ qualities ධර්මය මතක් කරනවා නම් එතනින් ඒක බේරෙනවා නේද සර්නස්? නිකන් මට එහෙම දෙයක් හිතුණා.
ධර්මය මතක් කරනවා නම් ඒ කියන්නේ මේමයි. It really depends on the meditation that you're doing. Right? Because in the initial stages, we do not look at the impermanence, the suffering, the concepts of putting everything down to Dhamma. After a bit of practice. At this stage, what we try to maintain the mind within is within a mind or with a mind which can discern the Dhammas. So the quality of samadhi, the quality of prajna that is working to deduce, right? In the initial stages, Hiranti, then we chakku vinyani name balanna ona, the interest or the intrigue that you have, it has to be taken step by step in a manner where you go through the kaya prasada to go to the actuality of it. Nathang, or else, even if you look at an object, take a visual object as object, and you are unable to maintain your mind within this visual object, what will happen is the object will automatically shift to the mind. So that is why we go through the Anapanasati practice, we go through the body door, establish that focus and attention, and then look at the eye door, the ear door, the nose door, the tongue door, and the heart door at the end. When we arrive at the heart door, when the heart door is the last, the Hadevastu is the last, which means now we are at a place where we can see everything. In the realm of experience, the best place to be is the heart base. Aye. Because the seat of mind is the heart base. At the heart base, you are able to experience profound, raw experiences of mind. So when it comes to Chittanupassana, How do you practice? From where? From where do you practice Chittanupassana? From the heart. From the heart. And how you develop that ability, that skill, is through the initial practice of Kaya-anupassana, Vedana-anupassana, where you bring yourself to be aware of the object at the body door. At the body door. Right. We will discuss more on it as we go ahead, but I do hope that you are meditating daily and that you are having your personal experiences day to day. Journaling, writing down these experiences also do go a long way as inspiration and to also motivate you to do it every single day as well, right? But remember, the greatest inspiration for our Dhamma practice are not going to be notebooks or anything of the sort, but it is a true connection that we have in having the chetana, the volition of wanting to go deeper, to see the truth of reality, to see the truth of the world that we live in. Going beyond, through Shraddha in the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, seeing that this Sammuti world that we have lived off of since the day of birth and maybe even before, is all a facade in comparison to the true depth of reality that we are currently living upon. These shifts and changes that happens time to time through the ages in our life are only shifts in conditions. Nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. Why? Because it is the same old drama of mind and body taking as conditioned different objects, acting and reacting upon those dhammas again and again, again and again, again and again. To see that reality of anatma, which is nibbana itself, it is a primary component of being able to see nibbana, we have to first shed this facade. Shed the idea that gives this facade value and chooses or gives it the primary state or place in existence. It is not the primary. It should be the secondary. The primary has to be the Paramattha. Because that is what is. The Paramattha is the primary. Depending upon those causes and conditions that affect the Paramattha, the secondary is affected, which is the gross mind and body that we see. The gross mind and body. Just as, for example, a person who goes, let us say, goes behind through the volition, motivated, inspired, through, let us say, doing of good deeds, even within that person's mind, when we see in the Paramattha, what is working is Tanha Anusaya venna puluwan, Ditti Anusaya venna puluwan, Avijja Anusaya venna puluwan. There are different kinds of anusayas that could even be behind what would be innocently thought as a good deed as well. This world that we live in is way different from the world that is. The only way to see that is through the teachings of the Buddha. And the only way to experience those teachings of the Buddha is to commit to practicing every single day. Just like our Muslim brothers and sisters, we will meditate every single day. Every single day, we connect with our spirituality, with our journey, making time for it by whatever conditions or circumstances might be. That would be the expectancy that is put on each practitioner who wants to see that depth in reality. And I wish you all the very best in that. And I hope that your wishings and blessings are with me for the same as well. So
Thank you,
so
Bhante.
much.
Thank
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante.
Therwan Saranai.